I was told that we're live, so welcome to One Youth Live. I am so excited for tonight's show. Today has been just a great whirlwind of a day, and I am just so excited. Welcome to One Youth Live. My name is Patrick. I'm one of the hosts, and we also have Chris over to the side here. Chris, how's it going? And we got
awesome as always.
Awesome. And then we got Jamie right down below. He's in the garage, so that is just as exciting as always too.
Hey friends.
And you know what? We have just a really great show lined up for you. We're gonna dive deep with some kids today. Chris, what are we talking about? You mentioned this last week, and it was so interesting. So we're gonna dive deep. What is it that we're going over?
Oh man, Patrick, I'm so excited for today's show. This is going to be a really cool one because it's something that everybody can participate in, and it's also very useful. So what we're going to be talking about is, now that we're kind of going to start to reopen things right around the quarantine, we're going to look at things that we want to leave in the quarantine area, right? Like, so maybe some stuff that we've like had some anger or frustration or disappointment and things we haven't got to do. We're going to leave that in the quarantine. And then we're also going to do things that we're going to take with us out of the quarantine moving forward into life. So maybe like we, heard of old praise song we used to listen to, or maybe we learned how to bake a new recipe of some kind. Maybe we made a new friend or reconnected with an old one. And we're going to make sure that we take all that positive stuff with us, leaving the negative in the back, because that's what we're doing today, buddy. Super excited.
Awesome. Man, I am so excited for the show and all of that. Chris, can you just bless tonight in prayer? Can we open it up in prayer?
I would love to. Thank you so much. Everybody, let's bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for blessing us with another amazing day. We thank you for this opportunity that we all have to get together tonight and to continue to stay connected to each other and to support each other and to learn new things about ourselves and about all the things that are going on in the world. And we just ask that you place your hands of blessing upon this group tonight and allow us to have fun and to be open and honest, so we can really get the most out of this, and also to just be there for other people too. And if anybody's going through anything tonight, just let them feel free to express that on the show or to reach out to somebody and talk about it, and know that we're just one big One Youth family, and we're just all so excited to be here tonight. And we thank you for all the things we've been blessed with, and our health included. And we thank you for these things. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And
Amen.
I'm seeing in the chat, I think Jamie Mazza guessed my shirt color correct. So shout out to Jamie Mazza. We said we would do that. So there you go. And also, if you have any questions for us throughout the show, drop them in the video chat, in the YouTube chat, and we'll try to keep a running list of all your questions. And at the end of the show, we'll try our best to answer them. If we forget, send us a message quick, and we'll get right to it. But for now, we're gonna play a game, and the game is one of my favorite card games in the world. And we have a very special guest that we're gonna have on tonight, and her name.
Who is it, Patrick?
I'm excited.
Her name is Amy. There she is. What's up, Amy?
Hey!
Amy,
all right.
Amy on the show for the first time ever.
First timer. Welcome to the show, Amy. We're so glad to have you here, live in person.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Go Cubs.
I don't have anything to drink with me right now, so I can't cheers. But
Hey,
I have
the LaCroix.
Yeah, that's what I got too. What flavor you got, Jamie? I got this pamplemousse. I don't know what that means. I think it means grapefruit in Spanish or something, maybe. I don't know.
Wow. Wow.
Amy.
I knew Amy would love
Didn't
that.
miss this, guys.
Yeah, I bet. Amy, how is it going out at your house?
Well, today it is hot.
Oh, yeah?
Like capital H-O-T hot.
Oh, man.
You have AC?
I do. And I turned it on right before the show started so that I could be comfortable and not sweaty on the Zoom call.
Perfect. Well, Amy, are you ready to play my favorite card game in the world?
Only if your favorite card game in the world is higher and lower.
Oh, my gosh. Well, guess what? It is higher or lower.
Woo!
And
I wish you had theme music for higher and lower. That would be awesome.
next week, we will have theme music
Yes.
for higher and lower. But today
I
we
can't
have
wait.
promise right
we have
there.
higher and lower here. Here's the box. Here's the cards. Basically, you can play this game at home. It's very easy to play. You can even play along at home with us right now. All you have to do is guess if the following card is higher or lower than the one before it. Aces
Could
in
I
this game are
make
low.
a suggestion?
Yes.
Jamie has to guess higher or lower this week. He cannot guess tie.
Okay. That's a new rule. Jamie
You're saying
cannot
tie
guess
is
tie.
off limits?
Yeah, because that's a cop out.
And Amy,
You know, I'm just waiting for the moment for tie to be correct. That's all I want is for tie to be
I
correct
know.
at some point.
And I want you to say
But
higher
I will
or lower
not-
when that
Amy,
happens.
For you, I will not guess tie. I will take tie out of my vocabulary
Thank you so
for this
much.
evening.
Thank you, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
well, there are the cards. Amy, are you ready to play higher or lower?
Been waiting my whole life for this.
All right, here we go. The first card is a 6. Is the next card higher or lower than 6?
I'm gonna go higher.
Okay, higher. Jamie?
Chris, don't make me feel bad about my decision.
You know, I really want to say tie so bad, but I can't. So I am going to go lower.
Okay, lower. And Chris?
What was the first card before the 6?
There was nothing before the 6.
Okay, just wanted to double check.
Hey, Chris,
I'm gonna
welcome
go-
to One Youth Live.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fun to play along. That way everybody gets connected. I'm
Yeah.
going to go higher.
Okay, we got 2 highers and a lower. Jamie could win right here. The next card is higher. Jamie, you're out. And this is just a giveaway. Amy and Chris, is the next card higher or lower than a king?
Lower.
Yeah.
If I were you, Chris, I would go higher, just in case.
I'll go lower this time. I'm gonna switch it up.
All right, you both went lower, and that was good because now it's it's an
Whoa!
ace.
We
We're
might
gonna-
actually win this
You might
game.
actually win this game, and that would be the first time ever on One Youth Live that someone won. Is the next card higher or lower than an ace?
Higher.
Higher.
Okay, here we go. I shuffled.
It's an ace.
What if it, Jamie? What if it was a tie? Would you have been so mad?
What if it was a tie?
Oh man. Okay, now there's only one way that you could lose here. Is the next card higher or lower than a king?
Man, this is tough.
Oh man, this
Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
go
go.
with these cards.
You know what? I'm going out on a limb, and I'm gonna say lower.
Okay, Chris.
I consider myself a leader, not a follower, but in this situation, I'm going to go the same with Amy. I'm going to go lower, Patrick.
Well, guess what? You both are winners.
Yes, first time.
Very
Woo!
first time you made it all the way through. We're gonna play one more round just to give Jamie an opportunity to redeem himself because
Thank you.
ever since he
Thank
lost,
you.
he's been pretty quiet. So we're gonna do one more, and then I got a
Jamie,
special surprise.
You can say tie if you want. I'll give it back to you.
No.
I'm feeling- I'm
Oh,
feeling-
okay.
I'm
All right.
feeling generous. I'm feeling generous.
Time to party.
Time to party.
Yeah, we see. All right, we see now. Once somebody wins
Ready.
around here, boy, they get a lot happier. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Bring
Here are
in
the
the luck.
cards. The first card is a 4. Amy, is the next card higher or lower than a 4?
Definitely higher.
Okay, Jamie.
Tie.
Did you say tie or high?
Tie.
Okay, and Chris.
And you shuffled them this time?
I shuffled them.
Okay, then I'm going to go higher.
Okay, we got 2 highers and a tie.
Oh, please be a tie. Please be a tie.
It's not. It's a 9.
okay.
There we go. Jamie is out again. Yeah, man, Jamie, you got to reevaluate your strategy. All right, Amy, is the next card higher or lower than a 9?
Okay, this is the first tough card we've seen.
Well, the 6 was tough. The first one was tough.
You know what? We had a lot of face cards in the last one. I'm going to say lower. I'm going to lose. Oh.
Chris?
No, I'm going to go lower too because we already had like 4 kings and aces. Like there's nothing.
You both said lower, and you're barely lower. It's an 8. So another
I was for sure we were done.
another difficult
Almost
one.
a tie.
Amy, is the next card higher or lower than an 8?
Oh, shoot.
It's getting real now.
It's getting really real now.
I got really excited because the last one was so easy. You know what? Lower.
Lower. Chris, what do you think?
I'm gonna go higher.
Higher.
I'm gonna
Okay.
mix it up.
This could be the game right here.
My heart is beating so fast right now.
The anxiety is kicking in.
Rolling the dice.
Who said what? I forgot.
I think I said lower.
I said
Jamie said tie.
Wait, who said lower?
I did.
And Chris said higher. Well, Amy, you're a winner. You got lower. But Amy, let's see if you can get the
Two
double
perfect games.
double perfect game. For the double perfect game right now is this. Oh, did you see it? I tipped it off my little
I'd
box.
like to see the cards, please. You know what I mean?
Is this
I'd like to see the
card-
cards, please?
Higher or lower? This is so hard to do. Higher or
I'm gonna
lower
say
than
higher.
a
I'm
5?
gonna say higher. Higher.
Friends,
You don't know what the card was. What was the card?
it's right here.
He's gonna show us, Chris. Settle down.
Oh, Patrick, you're suspect.
It's a-
I don't know about this.
Amy got the
Yes.
double win. Good job, Amy.
Play
And-
of the game.
Way to go,
Play of the
Amy.
game right there.
And Amy, we're gonna let you pick who gets a pizza delivered to their
Oh.
house tonight, but we're gonna do it a different way. All right.
Okay.
Mm,
We're gonna have you pick a number, any number less than 50, and we're gonna count
Okay.
up backwards in the chat, and whatever chat number that is from the bottom, whoever said that comment gets a pizza. Does that make sense?
Yes, but if it's me, because I did comment,
Then we'll just go one
I
up.
do not want a pizza.
If it's you, we'll just go one further up. So what's the number,
Okay.
Amy? Less
I
than
think we're
50.
only about 30 in the chat, maybe.
I'm
Oh,
gonna say
Less
14.
than 30. 14. 2, 3,
14.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Who do we have?
11,
kinda hope
12,
it's
13,
Matthew.
14. Nope. Guess who it is?
Jamie Mazza.
It's Jamie
Won you.
Mazza. Jamie Mazza.
I
You-
just guessed that. I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Jamie
You're
Mazza.
welcome,
Jamie
Mazza
Mazza.
family.
Hey, do you know his favorite type of pizza?
Anchovy. It's solid
You know,
anchovy, like a full
he's
layer
in
of
my
anchovies
soul.
on top.
He's in my small group, and I should know it, but I don't. I would say
I think he's
anything
eating
with some
Panda
meat.
Express right now.
He is.
Oh.
I would say anything with some meat and some vegetables.
Anything with some meat and some vegetables. Well, you heard
What?
it here. Jamie Mazza, congratulations. Amy picked you. Oh, Jamie says pick a student. Amy,
Oh,
pick a student. You
can
get-
we pick Matthew because he was the first one
Yep.
in the chat? Today.
Absolutely. If yeah,
Okay.
That's absolutely
There
Then
it
I
is.
pick Matthew.
Jamie Mazza referred it back to Amy, who then picked
Good job,
Matthew.
Jamie Mazza.
Matthew,
Yeah.
you're getting a pizza delivered to your house. It's going to be coming as soon as we can get it on
Way
the
to
road.
be first, Matthew.
So-
Way to be first.
Very nice. Congratulations, Amy.
Yes,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
Thank you so much for
Thanks.
playing, Amy. It was super fantastic. And I think before you go, Jamie has a question to
Well,
ask.
I think Chris has a question. We
Oh.
want tonight, right, Chris? 'Cause
Yeah,
we're
I got
talking
a question.
about. Yeah, you got a question. So, Chris, go for it.
So, Amy, we were talking about earlier what this show's about, right? Like, we're going to leave something that was like kind of negative behind in the quarantine era, and then we're going to take something positive with us in the new, less quarantined area, right? Or arena, whatever we're going to call that. Did you have a chance to do that?
Well, you know, I was talking with someone about this today, and I for sure know something that I want to take with me
Fantastic. What's it
whenever
going to be?
quarantine is over. So a couple weeks into quarantine, I was kind of like spiraling down because everybody was frustrated and upset and sad and angry, and I was taking on all of their emotions with my own. And one day I sat down and I was like, I have to be positive because I am not going to make it. So I started a gratitude journal, and I thought it was going to be harder to pick out good things that have happened every day. But after like 4 days, I stopped even writing in it because I was noticing all the little positive things that were happening throughout the day without having to write them down. And it's really turned around this last half of quarantine for me. And I've kind of been feeling pretty happy every day. So I'm going to take that with me.
Sweet. I love that. The gratitude journal is now turned into just a nonstop gratitude list, just continuing throughout the day. And that's a great one. You know, Amy, there's actually a term
the
for
gratitude journal is the gratitude lifestyle.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a gratitude dealer. Okay, Chris?
You are a gratitude dealer. You know, Amy, there is actually a term for that when you take on a lot of other people's emotions, and this is good for everybody on the show. I'm glad you brought that up. It's actually called compassion fatigue. And that is like when you start feeling down and depressed yourself because the people around you are being, I won't say negative because it's not like they mean it, but just in a difficult situation, a lot of times we give, you know, more than people are giving out, or we're not getting negative back. So it's important for you guys to realize that if that's how you're starting to feel, this is a great way to counter-react that, right? By starting a gratitude journal, things like that, and being more positive, right? Or getting around other positive people so you can get some energy and you know, kind of joyful fuel back into you to continue on. So great example. Thank you so much for that. That was awesome.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Amy, for being a part of the show.
You're welcome.
Thank you
here
so
with
much,
us.
Amy.
You're welcome.
I'm sure Matthew is happy to.
I hope he is. I hope he is.
He got free pizza. How can he not be happy? That's like, I'd be grateful for. That's something he can put in his gratitude journal today.
Right.
That's right. Free
Write
pizza
it down.
Today. I love that the word thankful is right over your head like a halo, Amy.
That is kind of cool, isn't it?
Love it.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, well, I have some announcements for all of us. I know you're excited to hear those announcements.
Yeah.
So let me go through those in a hurry. Amy, we're gonna cut you loose. We're gonna say bye.
Okay. Bye, guys.
We gotta load up.
See you later,
Thanks
Amy.
for being on the show.
Guys,
See you
I
in the
miss
chat.
you.
Bye, Amy.
Bye.
So, as always, friends, we like to keep the announcements here pretty brief. Unfortunately, if you haven't heard already, they canceled summer camp on us. Chris, I know that's a hardship for you.
Boo.
It's a boo-boo kind of a thing. We don't like this, right? They canceled summer camp. Forest Home is not doing camps this summer. They're putting it off because they couldn't do it the way they wanted to do it. They didn't know how it could happen, and so they're not having summer camp. So with that, Patrick and I have rubbed our two brain cells together, and with the two, you know, his two and my one are 0. Does that add up right? 1 + 2 equals 0. No,
Well,
we
4,
figured out that we're gonna have to wait. Yeah, that's at least 4.5.
That's 4.
We figured out that we're gonna have to we're gonna have to wait and see what we can pull off for summer. So we don't have a plan yet for what might happen besides Forest Home, but at this point, just to let you know, summer camp is canceled. So if you were waiting to register for summer camp, don't bother. You don't have to. That's one thing off of your to-do agenda. However, there's some good things. There's some good things going on. We have some digital content for you guys. As always, we're doing the One Amazing Life podcast that comes out on Friday. This Friday, we're talking about mothers because it's Mother's Day next Sunday. So if you haven't done something for your mom, now is the time. Now is the chance. I would make some recommendations for that for people out there who are listening. One thing you might want to do is grab a phone and just make a little video of things you appreciate about your mom. And if there are people that know your mom, have them make a video and send it in, and then you can kind of like put it all together, send it to her. It just costs you some time and thought, and it'll be something that I'm sure will be well received. That's just a little hint for you. Also, with digital content, we have the My Favorite Verses that are coming out. And that's on Instagram on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. If you want to contribute one of those, just let us know. You can go to the Instagram and DM the Instagram account, our One Youth Instagram account, and let us know that you have a verse that you want to share. And we love those 1-minute videos. Those have been really encouraging, not just to us and One Youth, but to the church as a whole. Also, the One Youth Devo every Wednesday and Sunday with Jamie and Patrick. You can listen to that Devo or the podcast or any of those things on all major platforms, including YouTube. And this Sunday, we're doing our high school hangout from 11 to 11:30. So join us for that. It's been fun getting to see you guys and talk to you guys. I don't know about you, Chris and Patrick, but it's been hard not being able to hang out with students, with the people that we love and we like hanging out with. It's been like kind of depressing.
Yeah.
It's been horrific. I'll tell you, for me, it's just, it's like a part of my heart is missing every single week.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to forget how to interact with people if this lasts much longer.
I know. I don't know how to act with teenage people. I think, do I need to wear my hat backwards? Is that what I'm supposed to do, Pat?
No,
I
to the
didn't
side. I think
Oh.
it's to the side now.
Like this?
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, something like that. But
You're back in action
That's
already,
great.
Jamie. That's what I love.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, this
You
is
know how
all
to
good.
adapt.
All good.
For real, though, I miss seeing all of you that are probably watching. I
Yeah.
miss seeing you guys.
Yeah, and so with that, again, we don't know when we're going to see each other face to face again, but feel free to do some FaceTiming with us, with all the leaders that are around. We want to chat with you. We want to know what's going on in your life. If you see Patrick calling you, pick up the phone.
Yeah,
Pick up the phone if Pat's calling you.
because I'm
And
probably
speaking
asking for your
of
address
Patrick,
to send you a pizza.
probably
Right? Or
That's
something.
probably exactly what he's doing.
Hey,
Or
Jamie,
something. Yeah.
Hey, I got a quick question while we're talking about
Oh, let's hear it.
Since
No.
we're not going to be able to go to camp this year,
Yeah.
what am I going to do with the $50 that I set aside to buy everybody milkshakes? Maybe we should do something fun. Can we do something fun? Can we pitch in like all of our milkshake money and do something fun?
We're going to figure something out, and we just don't know what it is yet, but we're going to figure something out, and we will count on your $50 milkshake money as seed money for whatever
Okay,
fun
it's burning a hole in
that
my
thing might be.
pocket right there. I'm putting it in
Well,
the pot right now.
Don't spend it. Save that money. Yeah,
Okay, I
we're gonna be
promise.
doing some fun stuff. We just don't know what we can do yet, but we're working on it.
Okay.
And with that, speaking of things that we can do, our worship team worked really hard over the last week to try to put a video together for us, and we had some corrupted video files. So worship team, if you're paying attention to this, my apologies. Didn't quite get all the bugs out of the system to make it work, which I don't like. I'm upset about. However, we do have a guest worship leader with us tonight, who is a good guy. I'm happy to have him with us. He hasn't led worship for us in quite some time. So let's welcome to the show, Mr. Matt Pittman.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hey. So for the sorry. I was just gonna say, for those who don't know who I am, my name is Matthew Pittman. I graduated from Santa Fe Christian in 2018, and I just finished up my sophomore year at Grand Canyon University. So, yeah, that's who I am, I guess. Jamie asked me to play a song tonight for you guys, so I'm going to be playing Give Us Clean Hands. It's one of my favorites. I hope you guys like it. If you want to just listen, that's fine. If you want to sing along wherever you are, that's cool too. But here we go. We bow our hearts, we bend our knees. Oh Spirit, come make us humble. We turn our eyes from evil things. Oh Lord, we cast down our idols. So give us clean hands, give us pure hearts. Let us not lift our souls to another. Give us clean hands, give us pure hearts. Let us not lift our souls to another. Oh God, let us be a generation that seeks, who seeks your face, oh God of Jacob. God, let us be a generation that seeks, who seeks your face, oh God of Jacob. We bow our hearts, we bend our knees. Oh Spirit, come make us humble. We turn our eyes from evil things. Oh Lord, we cast down our idols. So give us clean hands, give us pure hearts. Let us now lift our souls to another. Give us clean hands, give us pure hearts. Let us now lift our souls to another. God, let us be a generation that seeks your face, oh God of Jacob. God, let us be a generation that seeks your face, oh God of Jacob. We bow our hearts, we bend our knees. Oh Spirit, come make us humble. Dear God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity that we have to come online in our own homes and hear and learn more about you. I pray for this country and this world that we can work through this whole virus issue that's going on right now. And we use this time and opportunity that we have to learn more about ourselves and to learn more about you. But I do pray that we can soon get back to our normal lives and be able to go outside again and hang out with friends and family. Again, thank you for this day. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Amen. Hey, Matt, thank you so much, man. That was fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Matt, it was awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you still remember how to lead worship after all this time. Your voice sounds great, man. I love it.
Thank you.
You know what I think it is, Chris? I think it's the power of the quarantine mustache that Matt's growing. It
Right
gives
here.
him such a strong vocal. I mean, think of all the great musicians with strong vocals who have a great mustache.
I mean, it's unlimited. You know what I mean? I think he comes from like a long line of like phenomenal singers and musicians. Does he not?
Just a bit, yeah, I would say.
There's some in there. There's
It
some
might
in
be.
there.
It's
That's
in the
right.
jeans and the mustache. That's how you get them both. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to.
There it is. Definitely in the mustache.
So are
sure.
you out in Arizona right now?
No, I'm home. I've been
Oh.
home since like March 12th or something.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we had spring break around like the 15th, so I was going to come back anyways. And then while I was home, they just said, you can come home if you want. So after break, I went out for a couple days, said goodbye to friends, and came back home. I've been here ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you're staying for the summer, I would imagine.
For the summer, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got an email out there giving students options to come back or take the next semester online no matter what happens.
Cool. Hey, you know, our friend Chris has a question. You up for a question?
Yeah.
All right.
So, Matt, here's the question. This is what we're talking about today. So, part of what I wanted us to focus on today was what is something that maybe you've experienced in the quarantine that was kind of negative, right? Like it could be maybe you watch the news a lot, so you're kind of over that, or you know, maybe you've worked through some anger of your own or frustrations. So we're talking about what we're going to leave behind in the quarantine as we move forward. Or is there something that maybe you've picked up during this quarantine time that you want to take forward in a positive light with you? So maybe, I don't know, maybe you've re-picked up the guitar again, maybe you've reconnected with an old friend, maybe you heard like some old songs or something you used to get inspired by, and so to kind of keep those moving forward with you, so you take the positive. Do you have either one of those kind of things going on with you right now?
Oh yeah, I have an answer for both of those. For the negative thing, the big thing for me that really hurt was leaving school, because I was really having a really awesome year, and it just sucked that it had to end a month and a half early, and so that was really hard, to leave all my friends who we were still planning like trips and all these fun events that we couldn't do anymore. So when I got home, it was I was kind of tough to live with, honestly, because I just really missed being out there on my own, and I wasn't really able to adjust coming home. But that is something that is going to happen, not just with this virus, but like in all of life. Things are going to disappoint you, and you just got to learn to kind of move past that. And so that's one thing, that negative, that I'm also kind of trying to change for the future. And then one thing positive actually is I've just been kind of doing things that get me more active. I was never really a super crazy active person outside of sports in high school and even intramurals at school, but I've been doing a lot of work around the house, yard work, and just like easy workout stuff you can do in your room or at home that it's been helping and puts you in a good mood. And I've been liking that a lot, and that's something that I'm going to hopefully continue to do when all this ends. So yeah.
And I got another important follow-up question for you.
Yeah.
You have any big plans for your mom for Mother's Day?
Not yet, we're still thinking there, but
okay, you and your brother, you and your brother can get together and figure something out.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Okay, all right, just checking in, man. Just checking in with you,
Matt. I love that. Thanks for taking the time to come on the show and answer those questions. And I love that you're leaving frustration about events that we have no control over behind, and then taking forward, physical exercise. Physical exercise is the number one cure for depression. It's also a great way to work out kind of, what we call superficial frustration or anger. You know what I mean? So it really, physical exercise is a key component to any balanced life. And for those two reasons, right? Just the chemicals that it releases in the brain and the way it makes us feel. So, I applaud you for both of those things, because they are both going to help you and the people around you significantly.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Right. Thank you so much for being on the show. It was great. It was great to see you. I look forward. I look forward to when we can hang out in person again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, later, man. We'll see you later, Matt. Thanks again for your music.
Take care.
Yep. Bye.
So, Chris, I wanted to share kind of a little bit for me too of the same questions. I've been thinking about this all day, and what would I want to keep and what would I want to take behind it? And I think we all have this kind of awesome illustration for quarantine right now. If we just all go a little bit west and look to the ocean, over the past several weeks, we've had the coolest glow in the dark waves. It's fun to see in person, the bioluminescence, and it's really cool to see the videos that people have. I was watching videos of, dolphins in the bioluminescence and videos of people surfing in it and people walking in it. And it's amazing. It's super cool. However, the part that I would want to leave behind is the smell of the ocean right now.
Yes.
Now, I don't know how many of you have been smelling the ocean. I live probably 4.5, 5 miles from the ocean, a little bit closer to the lagoon, and it's coming in my front room. It's disgusting. In fact, today I came in my phone. What are you guys eating? Like, what is going on in here? And they looked at me like, Dad, it's not us. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. So I walked out front, and sure enough, it smelled worse inside than it did outside, or it smelled worse outside than it did inside. So for me, I would love to keep the bioluminescence and lose the smell, right? So that's kind of my quarantine analogy for all of this. Internet is probably getting a little glitchy on us right now, so I gotta say sorry for that. Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah. Yeah, you're breaking up, but now you're back, so that's good.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a great
good.
analogy because
Sweet.
it's like we're taking with us the beautiful and we're leaving behind the stinky. You know what I mean?
That's right. Take the pretty, leave the stinky. That's good. And so I've been thinking about a Bible story that kind of fits in with this a little bit. And there's actually one out there. And it's a little bit about how God is the one who's in control of everything, whether or not we like it or think it. And so if you go back to the time of the judges, and this is a long time ago in the history of the nation of Israel, of God's people, the time of the judges, there was no real like people in charge. Like it was kind of a little bit of a free for all. In fact, in the scripture, the way it says everyone just kind of did what they thought was right. And if any of you know what it's like when everyone just does what they think is right, things get a little chaotic. It's kind of like when a principal, or not a principal, but when a substitute is leading the class and the substitute doesn't know what they're doing. That class is going to be crazy for that day. You know, people are going to be going nuts. Everyone's going to say, I have to use the bathroom, and then the class will be half empty, and it just gets crazy. And so the whole country was like that for quite some time. They had some kings, some were good, some were bad, but really there was no one in charge. And God raised up these people called judges. And he raised up this one guy named Gideon. And Gideon had to put together a mighty army to defeat the armies of multiple nations who had come together to take out God's people. And God was like, I'm going to use you. And Gideon, he was like, all right, I mean, I guess I'm the guy. He kind of doubted it at first, but then he jumped up to the task. And God gave him this mighty army of tens of thousands of people. And God said, you know what? This army's too big. I need you to leave some of them behind. And Gideon, you know, probably in his head, he was thinking like, no. This other army
Yeah,
is
right.
like way bigger. In fact, the other army they compared to locusts, and they said that the other army had more camels than there were sands of grain or grains of sand in the seashore. So it was kind of like the other army was endless. And so God said, hey, you know, you need to get rid of some of these guys. So they cut down the army to less people. And then God's like, you know what? It's not even small enough. We need to bring this down to only 300 men. And so his army got cut down from tens of thousands to thousands to just 300 men. And those were the only men that got brought into battle. So Gideon had to leave behind all the things that he knew that he thought were going to be great, that he thought were going to give him power and give him a victory. And instead, God had him bring just a small amount with him that were still with him. And they had this magnificent victory over the enemy, which was kind of a cool story. And I think really the point of that story is that God's in charge. God knows what he's doing and follow his plan. And so I just want to kind of throw that out there for anyone who's trying to think about and wonder, you know, what is it that God's calling me to do? What is it that I'm going to take and learn from this quarantine time? And what is it that I need to leave behind? Look to God for guidance and direction in that, because God will help you with that too. So I just wanted to share that with everyone out there today. And I think we have a guest coming on the show. Is that right, Pat? Or not yet?
In just a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit. Okay. We're still waiting on a guest. But we're curious too. Any of you out there, maybe you're in the chat. I'm curious to know, what is it that you guys are thinking of leaving behind, and what things are you thinking of taking? You know, what stinky oceans and what bioluminescence are there out there in your lives?
Yeah, and
that are happening. So you can put those in the chat. Go ahead, Pat.
And you know, I was just gonna say about the bioluminescence and the stinky water. What you're smelling is lots of dead fish, because the bio or the photoplankton or whatever it is sucked all the oxygen out of the water. And so what you want to take with you is phytoplankton, and what you want to leave is all the dead fish. But you know, for me, one thing that I've been thinking about taking and leaving is I normally, I mean, for most of my life, would be fine with clutter, like around the house. You know, if there's lots of clutter, like whatever, you know, I just walk over it. It doesn't matter. But Megan, my wife, doesn't like a lot of clutter. And so I've been realizing, you know what, I don't actually like clutter anymore either. So one thing that I'm going to take with me moving forward is actually trying to keep all my clutter contained, because I feel like just where we live, that's the only way that we can keep our house a habitable space. So I'm going to leave the cluttered lifestyle in the shelter in place, and I'm going to move forward with a clutter-free lifestyle. At least that's the plan, and that's the goal. So
I like it, man. I think that's a great idea. Patrick, I wasn't surprised when you said Megan didn't like the clutter. Not surprised at that at all.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought you were going to be surprised that I was a cluttery guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, I actually am surprised. Patrick's pretty good at keeping things clean. He likes things organized.
Yeah.
So,
Have you seen? Hey, first of all, have you seen his cable display? Like, I mean, the guy is. Have you gone into the middle school room closet? I mean, the guy's out of his mind. He's a walking fire hazard. You know what I mean? So I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, here's what I do know, Chris. I know that cable box that he has was labeled nicely with a nice lid, put in a very organized closet or a garage at his house. That everything's like in its place.
Yeah.
Maybe that was Megan's doing. I didn't know. So there's a method to it. And the middle school closet, I'll have you know, was mostly leftover high school junk that I put in there. So
yeah.
To be honest, that's a little bit more on me than on Patrick. He likes to keep that room clean. I'm like, whatever. Let's just the middle school. Just fill it up with sodas and candy, and it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But
that's impressive.
Yeah,
that's good to see.
Well, enough about me and my closet and my rack of cables. We have our first guest ready to come in, so let's go ahead and welcome our guest, Abby, and as she gets connected here, looks like
clap.
Abby.
It looks like there she goes.
There she is.
Hi.
Hey. Hi, Abby. We're glad to have you here. And Abby's we can hear you now. You're connected.
Awesome.
Hey.
There she is. What's going on, Abby?
I'm good. Yeah, I had kind of a busy day today, but it's been.
What is a busy day? What does that mean? Because you can't go anywhere.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So I woke up in my photography class, and then I had to do tutoring for math, and then I had a piano lesson, and then I went on a run, and then I did some homework, and I'm working on my ISB application too, so that's been a thing that I've been doing.
Your what application?
ISB. It's a student council.
ASB. I thought you said ISB. I was like, what's ISB?
I don't know what that is either, but yeah. And then I had small group, and now I've been.
So you've been.
That is a busy day.
Super busy.
Yeah, it was really busy.
And Abby, I heard that you led small group. You didn't just attend. You were facilitator today.
I was the facilitator. It was John 14, and it was a really good chapter.
Oh, nice.
That is a good chapter.
Nice.
That's a really good one.
Hey, so we're talking about leaving things in the quarantine, taking things with us. Chris has some questions for you. Chris?
Right.
Abby, how are you?
I'm good.
Are you?
Yeah, I really am good.
Okay, good. It's good to see you. Girl gang. That's what's up.
I miss the girl gang so much.
Yeah, where's everybody at too? I thought they'd be tuning in.
I don't know. I mean, in our small group today, I feel Lucy is in Montana, so she had some trouble joining.
Nice. Well, cool. Now, Abby, how are you? I have a couple questions for you, but just to get you warmed up, how's school going? You're doing everything online now? How's that going for you?
It's been kind of hard to keep track of stuff because teachers will have meetings and then tests. I don't even know, but there's tests that you have to take too, and assignments due, and I kind of have to write everything down or I'll forget it. So that's been kind of a challenge. But other than that, it's been pretty easy. I'd say it's a lot easier.
What do you miss most about not going to school? Recess?
Yes, recess for sure.
Do you still have recess? You're in high school.
No, I was kidding.
Oh,
But-
okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, I miss my friends a lot, so that is something I do miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you staying in touch with everybody? Do you guys do phone calls? Do you guys do Zoom? Do you just like not talk to each other? Like, how does that work?
Well, I've been FaceTiming people a lot, so that's been something that's been good. I've been keeping in touch with people, and just FaceTime and group messaging, but that's pretty standard.
Nice.
All right. How's everything at the house? Are your parents driving you crazy yet?
I mean, they're starting to. I love family time and all, but it's been a lot of family time.
Yeah, right. Is everybody in your house? Are they at home? Are your parents at home too, or do they still go to work?
Everybody's at home, so it's been,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool, Abby. I'm so grateful you're on the show tonight. Now the question, of course, we love having you on here. We love having you on the podcast. Whatever you want to be on, you just let us know. We'll put you on there.
Yay!
So the question is what are you leaving behind in the quarantine that's negative, and what are you taking forward out of the quarantine that's positive?
Okay.
So what'd you come up with for us tonight?
Okay, so when Jamie called me, I started brainstorming right away. And the first thing that came to mind for the negatives was my sleep schedule. I've been going to sleep so late because, kind of just feel like if I'm not going to I can wake up at any time I want tomorrow. So I have picked up a really, going to sleep at, 1, 2 in the morning and, waking up. Yeah.
Same.
It hasn't been. That's something that I do not want to take with me. And I've been spending a lot more time on my phone, which is really bad. That's something else that I kind of would want to leave behind. But something that I would like to take with me is actually have a list here that
Nice.
Awesome. I love lists. I'm a list person too.
This is great.
Lists are awesome.
Communication skills. I realized that to keep my relationships up, I'm gonna have to make an effort, and it takes 2 people to make an effort. So I've been calling people rather than just trying to keep in touch with people. I have actually gotten better at cooking. My family has these themed nights where we pick a theme and we just cook stuff for it. So the other night I made enchiladas. It was actually so good. You never think about how much work goes into making food until you do it. So
enchiladas is a time-consuming thing, is it not? It looks easy when you eat it, but it's not when you make it.
Yeah, it's really not. So it's a broader appreciation for food, I guess you could say.
What's been your favorite thing that you've made so far?
Oh, we also so it's nights, so we have Mexican night, Thai night. Okay, in Thai night I made, what did I even make? Oh, we made chicken satay, like the chicken on sticks. So
chicken satay?
Marinade for that. So that was kind of fun to make. I mean, I learned how to make a good quesadilla. I knew how to make quesadillas before, but good quesadillas, that is a skill that I picked up. And
That's cool. Good.
I also baking, lots of stuff. So that's been fun too.
Man, you got a lot of good stuff going on. Okay, so taking forward, you're going to keep in touch better with your friends and cooking. Was there anything else on the list?
Workout determination. I have been really self-motivated to go on runs and stuff. Yeah, because I can't go to my swim team practices anymore, obviously. So yeah, I've been having to actually do stuff.
Good. Working out is always key. It's a great thing to do. Now, for swimming, you got to be in good shape for swimming. I mean, people think they're in good shape until they start swimming, and then you realize you are not in good shape. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It is a really hard sport, and I feel it doesn't get enough credit for how hard it is, but
Agreed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Agreed, man. These people say they can swim for 6 hours. I'm how can you? I can swim for 5 minutes. Not like dog paddle, but if you actually swim like a swimmer swim, it is not as easy as you guys make it look. I'll tell you that.
Sometimes I don't think that bowling gets enough credit as a sport because, I mean, those bowling balls are heavy, I went to my high school that I grew up. I grew up in a small town. The high school had bowling PE. So during
What?
lunch, you could walk over and go bowling. And this was long enough ago that people would still smoke in bowling alleys. So for your physical education, you'd go into a smoke-filled room and bowl. Gotta love it, man. I'm feeling like an old man right now telling that story.
Where was this? Like in West Virginia or something? Where was this Magic Castle?
It was Northern California. Northern California.
All right.
Bowling PE, you know.
I mean,
That sounds like
So
a lot
I
of
feel
fun.
for all those people who can't bowl right now.
yeah, but
Yeah.
is gonna have walking PE next year, which is the new thing. So that's interesting.
Ooh.
Walking PE.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
I mean, there's like a lot of like trails.
Isn't
and
that just
stuff.
like
Yeah.
Pretty
Oh,
soon.
like trail walking.
Uh,
Okay.
Pretty soon, there's gonna be sleeping PE. You know, just
sleep is good for you. Just probably
It
not
is.
too much of it.
yeah.
Abby, what have you been doing to get through quarantine stuff? Like, how are you staying in a positive mood?
Staying in a positive. Kind of what Amy was saying about like seeing like the small things. I did notice that like with quarantine, like when I go on like walks and stuff, I've been appreciating like the weather a lot. I know that like living in Southern California, we kind of take it for granted, but like just the small things, the weather, flowers, like my mom's avocado trees. Like we've been like watching them kind of like grow, and that's been pretty cool. The miracle of life.
Wow.
No, that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, people definitely take the weather in Southern California for granted until one point, Abby, and that is until you have to start paying rent to live here. Then you don't take it for granted anymore. You're like, okay, now I understand why I live here. Like, it costs a fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start paying the rent, you'll be like, you won't take another day of sunshine for granted for the rest of your life. I guarantee you.
Yeah. Well, Abby, it was so exciting having you on our show.
Thank you
And
for
I-
having me.
and-
This is lots of fun.
And it's just so cool that you have like a built-in name tag on your wall behind you.
I do have a name tag.
That
See,
is
it is my
fantastic.
name underneath my like screen.
Yeah, I don't know if we put it underneath the screen or not, but it's right there. So if we forgot, at least we got it right there. So
I'm
that's great.
happy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking time to be on the show.
Of
You're
course.
awesome.
Yeah.
Abby's like a celebrity. That's what you know what I mean? It's like you can see her. And I thought we were going to her live in her dressing room. I didn't even know she was at home. I thought she's like
I know.
somewhere like, in the theater or something, getting ready to go on
Just in
stage.
case I forget my name, it's always there. So
Yeah. Cool.
It can happen.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk
Okay.
to you again soon.
okay.
Bye, Abby.
Bye, Abby. Thanks for being on the show. See you later. You're awesome.
Yeah. Well,
You know, Chris, I've been seeing a lot of people posting pictures of flowers. And I think that's
Yeah.
that's like kind of a cool gratitude thing. Like Abby said, like, I'm just appreciative of the flowers. And people have been posting a bunch of stuff about flowers because they're just grateful for it.
yeah.
Man, I've seen a lot of flowers, and I've also seen a lot of like really cool birds that I have not seen before. I don't know if you've seen any of those, but
Yeah.
they're like really like beautiful colored birds that all of a sudden are showing up. I'm like, man, that's like, yeah, definitely a lot more nature stuff, a lot more nature appreciation, lots just more like beauty of what God's actually created that we don't always get to see.
Yeah. So, moving
Yeah.
on with the show, it's
Absolutely.
I got a little just bad news I want to slide in. Abby was Amy and Abby were our only two video guests for tonight. We had two more guests lined up, but very last minute after the show even started, they said that they weren't going to be able to make it, but that's okay. One of our guests was actually going to be Jack Weisgarver, and he sent me the things that he wants to keep and the things that he wants to leave. So
Cool.
we can kind of like go over that.
Sure.
And his list was absolutely amazing, and it was a good blend. You'll see here things to keep. First and foremost, he wrote surfing and working out and running. So all the physical things, and Chris, like you were saying, the physical activity is so good
So important.
physically for your body, but also mentally. It's just so important. And so he really like hits that. But he also said one thing he wants to continue doing is spending quality time with his family, which is another, super, super big deal, super important, and oftentimes overlooked. So very interesting there. And he wrote underneath that, and this one I love, he wrote, getting lunch with my dad. So obviously that was something that him and his dad must have started doing at one point or another, and now that's something that he wants to keep doing. So deep family ties there. And then the last thing that he wrote is working on his truck, with his extra time.
He loves working on that truck.
Those mufflers don't cut themselves off. Someone's got to do it.
Right, yeah. So
keep that on the DL, Jamie. Keep it on the DL.
Let that one out. Uh-oh.
I don't know if it's street legal, baby. I don't know if it's street legal.
Yeah. But, that's like another good thing. It's better than just sitting around, doing nothing. You're getting dirty. You're using your hands. You're learning something new, kind of trial and error. Like cars aren't the simplest machines, they're kind of complex. And so learning how to do that when you have abundant time is, a really great thing. And the things that he said he wants to leave, he doesn't want to keep doing. On the top of his list, it says takeout from restaurants. I know Jack is kind of a healthy guy. He's a little bit of a health nut. And I think all of us have been eating out less. I mean, I know I have. Even though I had Panda Express for dinner or lunch at lunchtime, that was the first time I ate out. Second time I ate out this week. But normally it's almost every day. So eating healthier is a big thing that he wrote. And then he also said he's bummed that his favorite restaurants aren't open. So I don't know. We're gonna have to get him on the show sometime later to kind of dig into that a little bit, because I don't know what that really means. But really interesting topics, and I think that what he is hitting, the points that he wrote down, kind of, a lot of people can resonate with that. So really a cool thoughts. It's too bad we couldn't have him on the show.
Well, we'll try to get him in next time, maybe. Find a way to get Jack in there. But good. Thanks for getting those to us, Patrick. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey,
absolutely.
I think, we've had some guests. We've had Amy on the show. We've sent some pizzas out. What a cool thing. I know there's a ton of things that I want to take with me and a ton of things that I'm happy to leave behind. And I think one of them is my desk chair in my bunker in my garage here. The chair I'm using is very uncomfortable, and I'm ready just to throw it out in the trash. But that's okay. We'll leave that behind post quarantine. And but I'll tell you what, man, I'm loving being able to connect with people over the phone, to talk to people on the phone, to reach out to people, even when I can't see them face to face. That's just been a really good thing for me. So. I think it's probably time for us to go, Patrick. Is there anything maybe announcement-wise, Patrick, that you want to throw out there, just some closing reminders for people?
Yeah. The first one is we have our podcast coming out on Friday. It's on the topic of Mother's Day, and it was such a fun podcast to record. We recorded it a while back, so that was great. One other announcement, and this announcement is only for one person. Tomorrow is my mom's birthday, so happy birthday, Mom. I didn't forget. I gave you your gift earlier, so happy birthday. And just, reach out to us. We really want to hear from you. We want to talk to you, call us, email, text, anything. My heart breaks with probably all of yours that summer camp is canceled, but I've been telling everyone, as soon as it is safe and health officials say that we can spend time with others, even if it's in small groups, we're going to plan something for all of you guys. Even if it's small groups going and doing little activities and events, we're going to plan something for all of you. So that's all from me. Chris, I'll let you land this plane.
Yeah, you got it, man. Once again, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And being part of the One Youth family and youth group. And a couple things I just kind of wanted to go over. So part of the reason why we were looking at what we were leaving behind and what we're taking forward is that this is a great exercise for you guys to do in everything you do in life, right? Like every year at the end of the school year, maybe, like look back and review and say, hey, what did I do this year that I really want to improve on for next year? And what is it that maybe, I did this year that I don't want to continue that behavior anymore? Or maybe it's like with some of your friends. Maybe you have some friends that, they're not really turning out to be the people you thought they were. And they're not a good influence on you or things like that. So, maybe from, when you go from grade to grade, you leave them behind. And then you look at somebody else that maybe has become really close to you and, you can trust or is believes in the same things you do, and you can move on with that person and establish that friendship, right? So it's important when we get out of anything, whether or not it's, like even taking like sports, like we at the end of a sports season, look back and say, hey, what did I do that I want to improve on? Maybe it was my jump shot. Maybe it's my swim time. Maybe it's my, whatever sport you're in. And then also look at maybe some of the behaviors you had when you lost or something like that, right? Maybe like you were a bad loser or a poor loser, whatever that term is, or things like that. So this is just a great exercise to do, and what everybody seems to be talking about, which is a common theme, especially on this show, is how much we appreciate our communities and our families and our friends in our lives. And almost every person said that exact same thing tonight. And, you remember that these restaurants that you guys go to, whether or not it's like school lunches, you guys go off campus to get lunch or you guys go to the gym or people from your schools, your swim, like any of your sports teams, friends or whatever, and people from church, like, reach out to them, write them text messages, send them, like, call them, see what's going on, because you guys never know when you might be the only person they're talking to. Maybe you have like a lot of family at your house and maybe, a lot of friends have reached out to you, but some people, their parents are still working and they might be sitting there by themselves and they don't have anybody to talk to. So, it's important that we keep that up and we really reach out to as many people as we can right now and let them know. And maybe even go by the restaurant you used to go to, you haven't been to in like a month, and get some takeout, even if it's just a sandwich or a burrito, right? Because it's helping keep them alive. Those people are really struggling financially right now. So it's important that, as God's children and as a church and as a community, that we, our job is really to support the community and our friends and our family in any way that we can. So let's keep that up, because I know you guys all have huge hearts and you guys do such a great job of just being bright, shining lights across everything you guys do. So anyway, I miss you guys a ton. Can't tell you how much. And I'm just so blessed that we still get to get together on Wednesdays and Sundays and talk. So, that's what I got. Jamie, do you have any final words for us tonight?
Yeah, final words, and I hope that these words we never forget, and that is that you are never alone, and you are never alone. God's walking with you in all of this. God's walking with you whether you're having a great day or a bad day. So, like Amy said at the beginning, practicing gratitude is good in good days, and it's also good in when you're having bad days too, because you don't walk alone. God's right there. Just want to encourage everyone to look up and look out towards God. Whether that's opening up your Bible, reading a verse, go to Instagram, check out the verse of the day, and people sharing about that. Whatever it is that you do to connect with the Lord, man, keep it going. Don't drop that. And we are looking forward to a time when we can see each other face to face again. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. Bye, Chris. Bye, Patrick. And bye, everyone out there watching the show. We're so glad you guys could be with us tonight.
Bye-bye.